This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed about how to associate custom F4 values for a selection screen input field. For that, we have handled the event at selection screen on value request. And in order to populate the values, we were using the function model F4 if underscore int underscore table underscore value underscore request. Okay, right. Now let's see select options. Okay, select options. So we know that we have parameters. Okay, parameter statement will generate what? Selection screen. Okay, parameter statement will generate selection screen for reading what? Single input value. Okay, parameter statement generates a selection screen for reading the single input value. If you take the selection screen, select options, it also generates a selection screen and it can be used for reading what? Range of input values. For reading the range of what? Input values. That is the purpose of what? Select options. Okay. It is an internal table. Okay. It is a select option is an internal table created in the runtime. Okay. It is an internal table created in the runtime. Okay. So now let us see the requirement here. So here, when I run the ABAP program, I should get a selection screen. Okay, so this is the selection screen, right? So in this selection screen, we need to read the input values. Okay, so we require a selection screen where we need to read the range of what customer numbers. Okay, so here I need to enter what customer range. Okay, so based on this customer range, I need to get the data. Okay, so based on the customer range, I need to get the data from which table? KN1 table. So let's see how to do this. One second, please. One second. Okay, so one small change. What I want is we have a table. We have a table, VBAK table. So we have seen what some standard tables. Okay, what are the standard tables we discussed? Please mute your speakers. We have seen the table what KN1, okay, which stores what customer master data. Okay, similarly, yesterday I think we have seen a table called as Mara table, which stores what material master data. Okay, similarly, I want we have a table VBAK. which stores what? Sales document, what? Header data. Sales document header data. Okay, so based on this table, I want to get the data. So if you go to SC11, okay, in SC11 in ABAP dictionary, okay, let me provide the table name as VBAK. It is a standard table which stores the sales orders header data. Okay, so when I display this, yeah, this is a table. Yeah, in this table you can see we have some two primary key fields. One is client field, another is what? VBLN. What is this VBLN? Sales document number. Okay, we have two fields which are primary key fields. One is client field, another is what? Sales document number. Okay, and we have some fields like ERDAT, ERZDT, okay, and ERNAM. Okay, so Veblen, ERDAT, ERZDT, ERNAM, and apart from that, we have a field something like this, NETWR. NETWR. What is the data type of this field? Currency field, which comes under numeric category. Currency field, currency of 15, net value of what? Sales order in what? Document currency. Okay, so my requirement is when I run my ABAP program, I need to enter the net value range. Okay, net value range. Suppose if I enter, assume that I'll enter 1002, lower limit is 1000, upper limit I'll give it as something 1500. Okay, so if I enter the range as 1000 to 1500, let me go to VBAK table. So I'm in the VBAK table. Okay, so on which field I have to do the filtering? NETWR, net value. If I go to contents, yeah, you can see we have a field what? Sales document. We also have what? Net value. If you don't have the field here, what you have to do, already we know, suppose, assume that I'm having only Veblen. Yeah, so if you see here, we have only what? Sales document. But what is my requirement? I want to check how many records are there based on the net value. So if I go to contents, on the selection screen it is showing only what? One field, sales document number. Out of 287 fields, only one field it is showing. So number of entries are 10,000. But I want to filter based on net value. What is the field for net value? NETWR. So if I search for that, the field is what? NETWR, net value of what? Sales order. So if I go to content, since it is not there, how do you modify the selection screen? Choose the menu settings, fields for selection. Okay, only Weblen is selected. Let me search for what? NETWR. What is this? Net value. I'll select this NETWR, continue. Right, so I got it. So I'll give 1000 to what? 2000. Okay, lower limit, this is also select option, lower limit and what? Upper limit. So between 1000 to 2000, I want to check how many sales orders are there whose net value is between 1000 to 2000. So number of entries is what? 502. Let me check it for 1000 to 1500, 401. Let me check it for 1000 to 1100. Okay, 168. I'll give 1000 to 800. Wantedly I'm giving lower limit as 1000, upper limit as 800. Let me check what happens. I got an error. Lower limit is greater than what? Upper limit. So it is automatically taking care of that. So keeping this table in mind, I want to what? Generate a selection screen where I need to read the range of net value. So based on this net value, what is the requirement here? Based on the what? Net value range. Okay, what? Retrieve the sales order header data. Retrieve the sales order header data from which table? VBAK table. VBAK is the table which stores the sales document header data. Okay, so what are the fields to be retrieved? We need to decide what fields you want to retrieve. So I want to retrieve, what is this? Weblen, nothing but what? Sales document number. Then I want to retrieve ERDAT. What is this? Creation date. Okay. then ERZET, nothing but what? Creation, time, and then ERNAM, created by, okay, created by, and I also want to print NET WR also, net value. So these are the 5 columns I want to print it in the output screen. Okay. So since I'm going to compare with the range, definitely you'll have what? Multiple records. Okay. So since I'm going to retrieve multiple records, we require what? Internal table. And that internal table should contain how many fields? This 5 fields. Okay. So let's see how to do it. Select options. Type of program is executable program. I'll save it in the local object. Yeah. So here, right. So what is my requirement? The moment I execute the program, I require what? Selection screen for reading the range of what? Net values. Okay. So for that, we have to use a keyword called as what? Select options. Just like parameters, we have select options. Okay. Their select option name generally you'll start with what? SO underscore. Okay. This is the general naming standard will follow in what? Some of the projects, or you'll say S underscore. So I'll go for what? SO underscore. To which field you want to refer? In the VBA table, I want to refer to what? NET WR. So already we know if you are referring to any database fields, it is recommended to give the variable names also same name as that of database field name. So I'll say NET WR. Okay. For. If it is parameter, you have to say type. For select option, you have to use what? For keyword. For. Okay. For which table you want to which field you want to refer? NET WR, which is part of what? VBAK-NETWR. Okay, I'll do one thing. What is the data element of this NETWR? What is the data element? NETWR underscore AK, it seems. NETWR underscore AK. So let me refer to data element NETWR underscore AK. When I do syntax check, yeah, I got an error. Field NETWR underscore AK is what? Unknown. NETWR underscore AK is what? Unknown. So if it is a parameter variable, I can refer to the data element, or I can refer to the database field itself directly. But in case of select option, it is not recognizing this particular data element. Okay, it is not recognizing the data element. So I'll do one thing. Which table? VBAK table hyphen NETWR. Understood. So I'm saying select option variable for table name hyphen field name. So when I do syntax check, yeah, I got an error. Field VBAK hyphen NEWR is what? Unknown. I'll do one thing before that. First, let me go to data element only. NETWR underscore what? AK. What is the data element? NETWR underscore AK. So I'm referring to that. I got an error. What is the error I got? Field NETWR underscore AK is what? Unknown. So to avoid this error, what I'll do is I'll declare one variable data v underscore, okay, NETWR. Try to understand v underscore NETWR type. What is the data element? NETWR underscore AK. I'm declaring a program variable referring to the data element, and in the select option declaration, instead of directly referring to the data element, I will refer to my variable v underscore what? NETWR. Let me check whether this is valid or not. When I do syntax check, no errors, done. Okay, no errors. Let me execute this. Then I got the what? Selection screen where I am getting the lower limit and what? Upper limit. Here I can enter the lower limit, and here I can enter what? Upper limit. Understood? If I am directly referring to the data element in the select option, it is not recognizing. Okay, so done. It is not recognizing. This is one way of generating the selection screen for reading the range of what? What? Select option. Okay, so done. Let me comment this. Right. Now let me go for another way. Okay, I'll say select options SO underscore NEWR for, I'll directly try to refer to the field. What is that? VBAK hyphen what? NET WR. So when I do syntax check, okay, I got an error. Field VBAK hyphen NET WR is what? Unknown. Okay, field VBAK hyphen NET WR is what? Unknown. Am I clear? So it is not recognizing that. So what I'll do in order to avoid this error, I'll say data. Okay, let me say v underscore. Sorry, already I mentioned that, na. Okay, v underscore netwr type. What is the field name? VBAK hyphen netwr. Done. I'll refer to that. So I'll say for v underscore netwr. Understood? If I'm directly referring to the data element or if I'm directly referring to the field in the select option, it is not recognizing. So to avoid that error, what I did, I declared a variable referring to the data element or I declared a variable referring to the field itself. And then I'm referring to that variable as part of my select option declaration. Let me check whether this is work or not. Okay, no errors. Okay, I'm getting a warning related to what? VBAK structure, just ignore it. When I execute, yes, I got the selection screen where I can enter the lower limit and what upper limit. This is another way. Okay, let me show you the other way. Case 3, I'll say select options SO underscore NETWR for VBAK hyphen NETWR. Okay. Anyhow, we know we will get the error here. What is the error? It is unknown. So to avoid this error, earlier what I did, I declared a variable referring to the database field, and that variable we are referring as part of select option. Now, instead of declaring a variable, I'll say tables what? VBAK. Tables VBAK. Let me check. No syntax error. I am getting the warning related to what? VBAK. So there is no error. There is no error. I'm just getting a warning related to the enhancement structure of VBAK. So let me activate, execute this. Yes, I got the selection screen where I can read the range of what? Input values. Done. Understood? But this is not a recommended process. This is not a recommended process. Why? Because whenever we use tables keyword, when you say tables VBAK, what happens? This VBAK is a database structure, na? Database table. Na? So based on this structure, okay, SAP will create a work area. This VBAK table has got how many fields? It has got what? 287 fields. It has got 287 fields. So internally what happens? It will create a work area with all the fields of what? VBAK. So in the program, what happens? A work area gets created with all the fields of what? VBAK, which is a performance issue. So here what happens? What is the first field here? In the VBAK table, MANDT. What is the second field? VBLN. What is the third field? ERDAT. Like this, it will create a work area with all the 287 what field. This is the work area. What is the work area name it creates? VBAK. Understood? So table statement will always create a work area based on the database structure, based on the dictionary structure. So we are okay. What is the problem here? It is creating a work area which has got how many fields? 287 fields. Okay. So out of the 287 fields, we are referring only to what? One field. What is that field? NETWR. So just because of one field, unnecessarily SAP has created the work area with how many fields? 287 fields. That's why it is recommended not to declare the select option by using this particular tables keyword. We are getting the required this thing, but performance issue unnecessarily it creates what? Work area based on what? Creates work area based on dictionary structure VBAK, which is not recommended. It is not recommended. So that's why we will never declare the select option by using what? Tables keyword. So what I'll do is I'll make this as case 1. Sorry, please. This is what? Case 2. Okay, so what is the difference between case 1 and case 2? We are avoiding the usage of what? Tables keyword. How you are avoiding? We are creating a variable referring to what? What is this? Data element. Okay, this is fine. Okay, this is fine. We are getting the selection screen. Okay, this is one way. This is one way. What is the other way? By declaring a variable referring to what? Database, what? Field itself. This is also fine. Either I can refer to the data element or I can refer to the database field itself. We are getting the end results. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, done. Now, okay, I got the selection screen done. So my requirement is I want to default some values here, some lower limit and what upper limit. If it is a parameter statement, we would have used what default keyword. Here also for select option, we have a addition called as default. Okay, let me give the lower limit as 1000 to upper limit as something what 1200. It's okay. It's a numeric field. NEWR is what? Currency data type. Currency data type comes under numeric category. So I get 1000 to 1200. So when I execute, what happens? See, I am getting the selection screen where the what lower limit and upper limit is what defaulted. So, okay, done. So I got it. Now, what is the next requirement? When I click on the execute button, based on this range, I should get the data. So let me provide some selection text for this. Done. Okay. Now, whenever I click on this execute button, what is the event triggered? Already we know start of selection. On the selection screen, when we click on the execute button, the event triggered is what? Start of selection. Done. So I need to get the data. I will get the multiple data now because I'm going to compare with the range. So I require what internal table, and that internal table should contain how many columns? 5 columns, because in the output I need to display what? These 5 columns of which table? VBAK table, sales document header data. So let me create it. Types begin of ty underscore sales. I'll declare all the required fields. So I'll give the same names: VBLN type, VBAK-Weblen. Next what? ERDAT type, VBAK-ERDAT. Then let me give ERZET type, VBAK-ERZET. And then ERNAM type, VBAK-ERNAM. Then I'll say net value type VBAK-NETWR. Done. And I'll say end of what? TY underscore sales. Then based on this, I'll create the internal table and work area. T underscore sales type table of TY underscore sales. I'll create a work area type TY underscore sales. Internal table and work area is declared. Now let us get the data. So instead of directly writing the select statement here, I'll try to modularize my program by writing the subroutines. Perform, I'll just give a meaningful subroutine name, get sales orders. Perform get sales orders. Let me double click on this. Does not exist. I'll create that in the same main program. Continue. Done. Here I'll say select what are the fields you want. Okay, your what is the recommendation? It is recommended to retrieve the fields in the sequential order of the database table. What is the sequential order? Weblen, date, time, year, and name, and somewhere we'll have what? NET WR. In the internal table also, you try to declare in the same sequence. Veblen, ERDAT, ERZDT, ERNAM, NETWR from what? VBAK into table. What is the internal table? T underscore VBAK, where, okay, into table T underscore VBAK, where I need to compare with what? Net value field. Na? What is the net value field here? NETWR. In the VBAK table, we have what? Net value field is what? NETWR equal to the given range, not equal to. When we have to use equal to, when we are comparing with single value, when we are comparing with parameter variable, we go for what? Equal to. Yesterday and day before yesterday, we have seen that when you are comparing with set of values, you have to use in operator. Here also, select option also will hold the range. Na? Whenever you are comparing the range or a set of values, we have to use what? In operator. In. What is my select option name? SO underscore NET WR. Done. Okay. Then here only I'll say if, or not here, not required. Done. So I'll get the data into my internal table. So once a subroutine is executed, control comes to the next statement. So here I'll say if my internal table is not empty, if the internal table is not initial, not blank, okay, let me count the number of records. I'll say describe table T underscore cells. It will count the number of records and stores the count value in the system field what? In the system field what? Site T field. So number of sales orders in the given range. Number of sales orders in the given what? Net value range is what? What? SI T field. Done. Okay, and then after that, what I have to do, I have to display. Na? So let me put it in a separate subroutine. Perform display what? Sales orders. Okay. Else, I'll just give a message. No sales orders in the given what? Net value range. The given net value range, type what? Information message. That's all. Okay. So whenever we click on the execute button on the selection screen, the event triggered is what? Start of selection. As part of that event, first we are retrieving the sales orders from the VBAK table, comparing with the given net value range. After executing this subroutine, control comes back to the next statement. If the internal table is not blank, I'm trying to count the number of records and print the count value. Okay. And then we need to display it. I'm calling the subroutine. Otherwise, if the internal table is blank, control comes to else part. I'm just giving the message. I need to define this subroutine. Let me double click on this. Does not exist. Let me define that. So I need to display the data from our internal table. How do you display? Already we know we have to loop and what? We have to loop and iterate and what you have to display. So loop at internal table so and so, end loop. Then here I'll say write what? W underscore sales hyphen Veblen ERDAT, ERZDT, ERNAM, and then what? NETWR. So when I execute this, oh, it is not VBAK, no? Sorry. What is the internal table? T underscore what? Sales. Done, no errors. So we are looping the internal table and displaying it. So when I execute, I'll give 1000 to 1200 only. When I click on execute button, yes, number of sales orders in the given net value range is what? 282 it seems. If you go and check the VBAK table also, between 1000 and what? Between 1000 and what? 1200. How many entries are there? 282 sales orders are there. That's what I got. So I got the sales document number, creation date, creation time, person who has created that sales order, and the net value of that particular sales order document. Net value of that particular sales order document. Okay. Let me give 1000 to 3000. How many? 713. I am displaying that. Okay. So the main focus here is How do we generate the selection scheme for reading the range of what? Input values. How do we do it? By using what? Select options. I can use the select option in three different ways. The recommended approaches are case 2 or what? Case 3. Understood? We should never use a tables keyword because it degrades the performance unless it creates a work area. Done. And whenever you are comparing the select option in the select query, we have to use what operator? In operator. Yesterday we have used the in operator when you are giving what? Set of values. So we gave yesterday what? Raw material. We are comparing with the material type. Okay. Samples. Like this, we are comparing the set of values also, we have to use in operator. When you are comparing the range of values also, we have to use in operator. When you are comparing with single value, we have to use what? Equal to. Okay, that's it. So I got the data. Okay, if I debug this, let me debug. Yeah, so this is my select option. This is my select option. What I said here, based on the select option, SAP will create what? Internal table in the runtime. Internal table in the runtime during the program execution. So when I execute, done. So what is the select option I declared? SO underscore what? NET WR. SO underscore NEWR. Let me check whether it is created as an internal table or not. I'll go to table. Okay, SO underscore NET WR. Okay, yes, you can see it is created it as internal table. What is the structure of that select option? Sign, option, low, and what? I. Okay, low field will hold what? Lower limit. I field will hold what? Upper limit. Okay, we'll see going forward what is the meaning of sign and option. Okay, so it has created an internal table with header. Cap symbol indicates what? With header. Okay, what are the default values? It is there in the header. It is also there as the first entry in the body of the internal table. Okay, so here sign means what? I what is the default value? I didn't give any value for sign. So what is the default value I got? I means what? Inclusive. Inclusive means inclusive means, yeah, sorry, it will consider from lower limit to upper limit. Inclusive means it will consider from lower limit to upper limit. And option is bt means what? Between. Okay, between. Okay, done. Now I'll do one thing. Let me save it. Yeah, see, once again I'm executing. This is a default range 1000 to 1200. Now there is a button here, what? Multiple selection means the user can enter what? Multiple ranges. So I'll click on this multiple selection. Okay, we have a tab here, what? Select ranges. I'll click on select ranges. Already we have one range 1000 to 1200. Now I'll give 2000 to 2300. Okay, I give two ranges. Okay, click on execute button. Done. So my select option is an internal table in the runtime. Na? How many ranges are there now? Two ranges. How many records are there? Two records. One record is referring to 1000 to 1200. Another record is referring to something 2000 to 2300. Okay, when I execute this, see now, done. Okay, so I said that select option is an internal table. Na? So if you see SO underscore NETWR, right? Let me go to table and check what is that. SO underscore NETWR. Yeah, you can observe now there are two records in this. In the header, it has got the default value 1200. So you can see for the second record also, what is the default value for sign? Inclusive. Default value for option is between. Okay, 2000 to 2300. Okay, so now see here, observe here, right? So select option is an internal table created in the runtime. We are not creating that internal table, but based on our select option declaration, SAP itself will create the internal table. What is the structure of the select option internal table? It contains four fields: sign, option, low, and what? I. Low is understood, it holds a lower limit. I will hold the upper limit. Sign will have two possible values, I or E. I indicates what? Inclusive. Inclusive means what? It will consider the data from lower limit to upper limit. If I give 1000 to 1200, starting from 1000, it will consider till 1200. That is the meaning of inclusive. Okay, and what is the possible for option between? BT indicates what? A range. Done. So when I say Fi now, I'm trying to get the sales orders. If you see the internal table T underscore sales, as of now it is empty. I'm calling that subroutine. I'll press F5. Done. I'm trying to execute the select statement, comparing with the internal table, comparing with the select option internal table. So when I say F5, how many records I got? 363 records. Is it correct? Let me go and check in the table. Right, between 1000 to 1200, how many are there? 282. Then I give what? 2000 to 2300. How many entries are there? 81. So 282 plus 81. How much? 363. Yes, 363. The count is fine. I'll say F5. If the internal table is not empty, yes, it has got more than one record. Since if condition is satisfied, I'm counting the number of records. What the describe will do, it counts the number of records and stores the count value in the system field what's I tfill. Yes, you can see here number of cells are 363. Now I am calling another subroutine. Inside this subroutine, I am looping the internal table. How many times it will be iterated? 363 times it will iterate. 363 times it will iterate. Okay. Now I'll do one small change. Okay. So between 2000 to 2300, okay, let me execute. We have only got some 81 records. I am interested to display only 5 fields here. How do you filter? Settings, format list. If you want to modify the selection screen, you'll choose fields for selection. Now I'll choose settings, format list, choose fields. Okay. So here I don't want all the fields. I'll take only webline, date, time, ERN name, and let me search for NETWR. I'll select NETWR also. Continue, apply. When I execute, yes, I got this 5 calls. Now, 1 second. One second, please. Yeah, right. So, how many times this will be iterated now? 363 times. Okay, 363 times. Now, when I say F8, what happens? It will come out of this program execution, F8. Yes, I got all the 363 records. Now, here only let me cover one point. Yeah, once again observe. This is my first range, and I'll give another range also on the selection screen 2000 to 2300. Execute this. Okay, I got how many records? Some 363 records. Okay, done. If it is not empty, I'm counting it, I'm displaying it. Done. Now I'm trying to loop and display now. So earlier what happened when I press F8? Earlier when I press F8, what happens? It will check whether any further breakpoints are available. I don't have further breakpoints. I don't have further breakpoints. So what happened? The rest of the program got executed as a single step. Now what I want is when I press F8, it should stop me wherever the net value is what 2200. Okay, I repeat, this loop is iterated how many times? 363 times. So if I press F5, it will iterate 363. I'm not interested to debug that, but directly I want to jump. Okay, I want to jump to a record whose net value is what? 2200. Am I clear? I want to directly jump to a record, or I want to stop wherever the net value is what? 2200. I don't know which record is satisfying that particular condition. Okay, so what I'll do? Okay, I don't know which out of 363 records, I don't know which record satisfied that particular condition, but I want to stop wherever the net value is what? 2200. Okay, so what I'll do? I need to set something called as watch point. Okay, we need to set something called as what? Watch point. So here in the debugging screen only we have a button what? Watch point, right? So I'll click on watch point. Done. Okay, here I need to create the watch point. I'm sorry, boss. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. We are about to loop here. This is my internal table which has got 360 records. So what is the requirement? I want to define a watch point. What is the condition? Net value is what? 2200. I don't know which record satisfies condition. So what I'll do? See here on the application toolbar. Okay, on the application toolbar you can see there is a button here. Okay, understood. In the fields section there's a button on the application. What is that? Create watch point. Let me click on create watch point. Done. So when you loop here, each record will come to work area. Na? What is the work area name? W underscore sales. My condition is based on this work area only. Na? So I'll say W underscore sales hyphen. What is that field? NET WR. W hyphen sales hyphen NET WR. Relational operator. What is the relational operator? Equal to I'll give. I'll give what? Equal to. Okay, what is the value? 2200. Okay, done. Continue. Good. What is saying here? Watch point is what? Created. Let me create another condition. I'll click on create watch point. Okay, what is the work area name again? W underscore what? Sales hyphen what? NET WR. Okay, I'll give the watch point as equal to what is that? 2300. 2300. Okay, done. Right. So I have defined how many watch
Conference
points.
will now be recorded.
Defined how many watch points. Hello. Yeah. So what is the requirement now? I have created what? Two watch points. Okay. I created two watch points. So I'll say where we are. Okay. How do you check the watch points? What are the watch points available? I can click on this. Here you can see in the program 44 on which field I define the watch point. W underscore sales hyphen NWR equal to what is the value I gave? Somewhere you'll have that value. It is not showing the value. W underscore sales. Yeah, change watch point. 1 second. Yeah, here it is showing. Done. What is that? 2200, 2300. These are the two watch points. So what is my requirement? Wherever the net value is 2200 or 2300, I want to stop. Okay. So earlier what happened? When I press F8, the entire loop got iterated. Means internally it has iterated all the records. The program execution is finished. Now let me press F8. So what is the functionality of F8? F8, when you press F8 at any point of time, it will jump to the next breakpoint if available. Otherwise, the rest of the program will be executed. Now I'm changing the sentence. When you press F8, it will jump to the next breakpoint available, or it will stop wherever the watch point is encountered. It will stop wherever the watch point is encountered. So let me say F8. Done. What is saying here? Watch point is reached. What is that value? Current value 2300. 2300. So by this time, it might have iterated some records. If you see the output here, yes, it has iterated some records, boss. Understood? It has iterated these many records. Okay, so by the time 2300 has came, it has iterated these many records. Done. Okay, now if you want to check what you want to do now, if you want to check the what is the weblen, what is the date, just I want to do some analysis. Whenever the watch point is 2000, whenever the net value is 2300, done. Now I'll say F8. What happens here? I'm having one more watch point. So when I say F8, yes, what is saying here? Watch point is what reached 2200. Okay, so what is the meaning of a watch point? Watch point is a conditional breakpoint. Watch point is nothing but a conditional breakpoint that you will provide in the debugging mode. It is a conditional breakpoint. What is a conditional breakpoint here? Whenever the net value is equal to 2200 or net value is equal to 2300, it has to stop. Once it is stopped there, I can analyze the data in the other variables, and then I can decide what we have to do next. Okay, that is the meaning of what? Watch points. I repeat, watch points are nothing but conditional breakpoints defined in the debugging mode. Whenever that watch point condition is met, the program execution will be altered. Okay, so once it is altered at that particular point, I can do some analysis with the other variable data, then I can proceed further. Okay, if you want to change the watch points, okay, I can click on the watch points. Yeah, here you can see giving the button edit change watch point. I can change the condition, I can change the value, or if you want to delete it, you can click on the delete button. Okay, so I repeat this once again, how to set the watch points, just observe. Okay, watch point is only for that particular debugging session. Okay, so see now, I'll put the breakpoint here. Done. Okay, so I'll get the data, done. Okay, I'm trying to loop the internal table. So when I say f8, what happens internally? This 363 records are 208. Okay, I gave only one range. I gave only one range. Okay, what is that range? 1000 to 1200. So between 1000 to 1200, between 1000 to 1200, let me go to the VBAK table. Between 1000 to 1200, we have records 282 records. Okay, now what I want is, I want to stop whenever, yeah, I want to stop in the debugging. I want to stop whenever the net value is 1100. Okay, whenever the net value of the sales order is 1100. Okay, so what I'll do, there is a button here, what, create watch point. So watch points you have to create in the debugging mode. Okay, so I'm in the debugging mode now. I'll click on create watch point. You need to decide on which field you want to give the watch, you want to create the watch point. So field name, what is the field name? When you are looping the internal table, each record will come to work area na? So I'll say w underscore sales hyphen, on which field you want to give, netwr relational operator. So you can give any operator according to our requirement. I'll give what, equal to, anything you can give, less than, equal to, whatever it is. Okay, I'll go for equal to, what is that value, 1100. Okay, continue. What is saying here, watch point is created. Done. Let me check the data. Yeah, one more condition is, I want to stop wherever the net value is what, 1080, or not only net value. Yeah, I want to stop wherever the sales order creation date is what, 5/11/2002. So you can see between 1000 to, one second, between 1000 to 1200, how many records are there? 282 records. So if you see the data here, there is some date here. There is some date here. So what is my requirement? I want to stop wherever, okay, wherever the creation date is what, 5/11/2002. So I don't know how many sales orders are created on that day. I want to use the condition, which column, er date. What is the date? 5/11/2002. So again, I'll click on create watch point. This time work area is same, w underscore sales hyphen what, er dat. Okay, date relation operator, I'll give equal to only. What is the value you want to give? What is the value? Internally it is stored as what, year, month and date. So I'll give 2002. Month is what, 11. Date is what, 05. Continue. Yeah, watch point is what, created. Watch point, let me analyze this internal table. Is the data is stored in same format? Yeah, I can see the date is what, stored, year, month and what, date format. Okay, year, month and date. Year, month and date. Done. So overall, how many watch points are available? How do you check it? At any point of time we can view our watch points. At any point of time I can modify or delete my watch points. So if you click on this, yes, we are having two watch points created and based on the two fields. Okay, netwr and what, er DAT, both are the operator I gave equal to, and these are the values I gave. Done. If you want to change or delete, that's your wish. Okay, done. Now, yeah, let me say F8. So what happens? What is the default behavior of F8? It will check whether any next breakpoint is available. If it is available, it will stop there. Otherwise, the rest of the program will be executed. Now, what is the additional thing? It will stop whenever a watch point condition is met. What is a watch point? Conditional breakpoint. So when I say F8, done. Watch point is what reached it seems. Watch point is reached it seems. Okay. So see that value. What is that? W underscore sales hyphen what? ERDate is what? This one. Yeah, date. Date got reached. Actually, what is the value of any WR? Any WR is different. What are the two watch points I gave? 1100 and net value, and date is what? So and so. Okay. So if either of the watch point is met, it will stop there. So it is stopping at this one. So you can decide what you are to do here. Okay. For a deep analysis of that particular record, I created the watch point. Now I'll say F8. Okay, I'll say F8. What is the Veblen here? Veblen is what? 8132. So I'll press F8. Again, it is saying what? Watch point reached. See here, this is another what? Veblen. Now, the watch point is not reached based on this one now. Watch point is reached based on what? NET WR 1100. Understood? So that is the meaning of what? Watch points. Watch point is reached. Okay, so if I press F8, it will keep on stopping at every watch point. If you don't want further, what I can do, I can go to this, I can click on the buttons what delete watch point, so that it will not stop further, right? So if I say F8 now, yes, I got the rest of the program. I got the rest of the program. That's it. So we understood some part of select options. What is a select option? It is a selection screen. Select option statement generates what? Selection screen for reading the range of what? Input values. A select option is nothing but an internal table created in the runtime. Select option will have what structure? Sign, option, low, and what? I. What is the default value for sign? I. What is the other possible value? E, exclusive. That part I'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Then we have option. What is the default value for option? Between. Then we have lower limit and what? Upper limit. Okay. And we have seen multiple ways of declaring the select option. As part of declaring select option, it is recommended not to use the tables keyword because unnecessarily it creates a work area with all the fields which will degrade the performance. Then as part of select query, when you are comparing the select option range, we have to use what operator? In operator. And we understood something about watch point. Watch points are nothing but the conditional breakpoints defined during the debugging mode. Whenever a watch point is met, the control will stop the execution at that particular point so that we can do some deep analysis of that particular record. Right? Any questions? Okay, there are many more things related to select options, like how do we restrict the user to enter only one range, means you have to remove this button. Okay, what is the another way of providing the what default values? How do we change the value for sign and option? Okay, what is the difference between select options and ranges? Those things I'll cover it in the tomorrow's session. Okay, I'll wind off for today. Any questions, please ask me. Sure, then. So I'll wind off. We'll continue tomorrow.